Hello everyone, in today's video I'll show you how to do this daisy granny square tote bag. I hope you enjoy making it, and if you do, please hit subscribe and like this video. And without further ado, we can jump into how to make this. So to make this tote bag you will need 3 colors in total, 100 grams of any color you would like for your main color, then these 2 yellow and white for petals and the middle part, so each of those in 30 grams and 1 in 100. These are all double knit, and I'll be using 4.5 millimeter hook, but you can use any yarn you would like, as I have recycled one here and these 2 are cotton blend. Then you will need needle and pair of scissors. So to start off, you want to grab your yellow yarn, make a slip knot and put your hook in, tighten this up and chain 3. You could also do magic circle or just simply slip stitch with the first chain you've got here to make it into a ring. And once you do that, chain 2, which is not gonna count as a stitch, and then you want to make 12 double crochets inside. So to do double crochet, you want to yarn over, go into the center of your ring, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1 double crochet there, and you want to repeat this another 11 times. And I've just did my 12 double crochets. I want to go ahead and make sure that it's 12, so it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and 12. And where you have finished with your 12th one, you want to go back and don't pull through last 2 loops, because we will be inserting our new color. So I can now cut this one off, leaving a bit. And then you want to grab your white one to start working on the petals. So to start round 2, just insert your new color, and then slip stitch it into your first double crochet. So leave the chain you have here and just go into first double crochet of the round. And you can always tighten these up later, so don't worry if they come quite loose. And once you slip stitch it with the first double crochet, chain 3. This is now going to count as a stitch. And into that same stitch we have here, you want to make another 2 double crochets. So with the first chain we have, it's our double crochet, so we've got 3 now. You want to pull up a loop and take your hook out, and you want to put your hook into the chain 3 here you have, and then also insert it into the loop that you left here to make a slip stitch. That's it. Chain 2, and this is our first petal done. Into the next stitch, make 3 double crochets. Once you do 3 double crochets, pull up a loop, go into the first double crochet, then into your loop you've left to make a slip stitch it and kind of close it together so it's looking like a petal. Chain 2, and you will need to repeat this all around, making 12 of those clusters or 12 petals. So now at the last stitch here, I'm just gonna do my 3 double crochets as always. Then slip stitch it together, chain 2, and you want to go ahead and count if you've got 12 of these. So just before you go, make sure that you've got 12, not 11 or 13, because it's not gonna be even square. And if you do have 12, find your chain 3 here and slip stitch it together. Then chain 1, and we can now cut our white yarn off. Pull it through, and we will insert our yarn now. So I'm gonna be using this blue one, and you want to make sure that you insert it into this corner here because it's a bit bigger than any other, just because it's our closing chain. So put your hook in and we will do our corner here. Chain 1 to secure it, and then chain another 2, so you've got 3 in total. Into that same space, make 2 double crochets. So with your chain 3, it's 3 double crochets now. Chain 2, and into that same space, make another 3 double crochets. So this is our corner now. This chain 2 acts as a corner. And now in the next 2 spaces, so into this one and this one, we will do 3 double crochets in each. So in the next one, 3 double crochets, and that's considered to be the side of the granny square. And there is no chains in between. So in the next 3 double crochets as well. And that's it. And as you probably know, we're gonna be doing corner into the next one. So for the corner, it's 3 doubles, chain 2, 3 doubles. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just gonna make 3 double crochets, then chain 2, and 3 double crochets into that same space. And again, for the next 2 spaces, here and here, 3 double crochets in each. That's our side. And the next one as well. And we again reached our corner space here. So again, 3 double crochets, then chain 2 and 3 double crochets for the corner. This is how it looks so far. So in the next 2, 3 double crochets in each. Into the next one as well. That's 2, and third one. And as you know already, we've got last corner to do and last 2 spaces for 3 double crochets. So in the corner, as always, it's gonna be 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 double crochets, and 3 double crochets in each of these sides. And then in my last one, 3 double crochets as well. And that's it. This is how it should look. You should have 4 corners with 2 clusters of 3 double crochets in between for the sides. And to close off this round, you want to go into the 3rd chain through both loops, pull up a loop and slip stitch. And then for the next round, we want to get ourselves into this corner so we can begin next round. So basically make slip stitches until you reach corner. So that's 2 slip stitches in double crochets and then 1 slip stitch in the corner. And we're now in the middle to start next round. So for the next round, it's going to be exactly the same. It's just going to be more clusters as we now have 3 spaces for the sides. So to begin, chain 3, which is again our first double crochet, and do 2 double crochets into the same corner. Then you want to chain 2 and do another 3 double crochets in that same space. In our next space, we will do 3 double crochets. Then in the next one, 3 double crochets. In the next one, same 3 double crochets. And you will then have reached your corner. So for this side, you will have 3 clusters, while for your previous round, it's only 2. And for the corner, same thing, 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 double crochets. And once you do your corner, you're gonna repeat the same thing, 3 double crochets in the next 3 spaces, and then you reach your corner. Same for this side and same for this. And I'm gonna meet you at the end. And once you reach your end, just do the last 3 double crochets and I'll show you how to join it, which is basically the same way we did for previous round. So just find your chain 3, put your hook in, pull up a loop and slip stitch. I'm gonna chain 1 to secure because I'm not gonna do any more rounds, but if you would like to do more rounds, you could just go around. So basically slip stitch it until you're in the middle here and do the same thing at these spaces here of chain 2. You would do the corner and clusters for each of the side, and with each round it would just increase in clusters for the sides. So as you can see, 1 2 3 4, we would have 4 clusters now instead of a 3. So with each time it would just increase. Now you can just cut your yarn off and pull it through, tighten it up a bit, and this is how it will be looking so far. What you want to do now is hide all of these tails. So to do this, you want to grab your needle, pull it through, and you want to hide it on the wrong side. So I'm just making my way to the wrong side and I'm gonna go in a couple of times, making sure that it's secure. And you always want to go into a couple of the directions to make sure that once it's pulled, it's not gonna come out. So that's gonna be enough. You can then cut the one you've just weaved in, and you would do the same with all of them. But the initial one that you have here, you just really want to make sure that you pull it tight to close the ring off, because it can be with the hole inside, so just close it off before hiding. And same as the first one I just did. Using your needle, go in through a couple of your stitches. And that's it, and I'm gonna hide all of them, and it will be done for the granny square. Once you've hidden all the tails and completed your granny square, just go ahead and make another 12, so you've got 13 in total, and then I'll see you how to join them all together. When you finish doing 13 of those granny squares, you want to grab 2 of them, and I'll show you how to join them. So you want to fold them right sides in, meaning you have wrong sides out, and we will be joining them using back loops only. So your back loops are the ones on the outside, so that's back loop, and then this is the back loop as well. And basically you want to go into one of the chains, so the chain closer to the side, and leave this one for another side, and same for the other one. Grab your yarn and pull it through, then chain 1 to secure it, and going into each of that stitch, back loop only, and then through your second granny as well, pull up a loop and do a slip stitch. And you're just gonna continue making slip stitches along until you reach the end. You could also use any other method like a single crochet or going into both of the loops, but this is the method that gives you this kind of effect, leaving front loops here. And you just want to repeat this till the end, so this is what I'm gonna do. And closer to the end, I have 1 double crochet on both of the granny squares left, and your last slip stitch is gonna be into the chain on both of them. So go into one of the loops only, same for the other one, pull up a loop and do a slip stitch, then chain 1 to secure. And we can now cut our yarn off, leaving a bit so we can hide this in later. Pull through, secure, and this is how it will be looking. So just because we went into back loops only, it left us with this front loop here. And now you want to go ahead and join another 3 granny squares in one line, and you will do that twice, then another line of 4, and you will have 1 granny square left. So I already did this, and as you can see, I have my 3, I have my 4, then 3 again, and 1 here. And the only thing I need to do is join my 2 granny squares with the first 3 I have here. So I'm gonna be joining that, and I'll put up on the screen how it should look all joined together. And once you've got that joined here, then it's going to be followed by 3, 4, 3 again, and 1 here. It doesn't get inner shot, but once that is done, you want to fold your work in half. So you have your 1 square, then these 2, 1 and 1, and these 2 on the other one, which will be folded in half to shape it in a bag. And this is where you need to join those 2 sides as well as this one here. So along those 3 sides on both of your back sides, and then these 4 squares will remain unjoined. So do that using the same slip stitch method into the back loops only, and I'll see you when it's time to do the handle part. When you're done, this is how it's going to be looking from the wrong side, but now you want to pull it inside out, as we will be working from the right side. And this is how it should look. So we will now be working around those 4 squares on both sides. And to start our first round, you want to join your yarn into the corner of one of the sides. Grab your yarn, attach it here, and chain 1 to secure. Then start making single crochets. And our first round is gonna be all single crochets. And just continue all around working single crochets until you come to the point where you made your first single crochet. And when you reach the beginning of your round, there's your single crochet. You want to put your hook into that stitch and make a slip stitch just to join this round. And then we will begin doing single crochets up till this first corner of our granny square, and then we will chain to do our handle. So into that same single crochet, make a single crochet and continue making those. By the way, for the first round you would have 136 single crochets, and now you should make 17 until you reach this corner. And that's my 17th single crochet. As you can see, I'm now in the corner. There's 2 single crochets because we had 2 chains, but I'm gonna start chaining here, and I'm gonna chain 60. You can chain any other amount if you want your handle to be longer or shorter, but once you're happy with the length and happy with your chain, I'll show you how to join it to the next part. Once you've got your chain done, this is how the length of mine looks like. And if you're happy with the length, you want to find your second stitch in the middle here. So you should have 2 single crochets in this corner, and you want to slip stitch it into the one on your left. So put your hook in, pull up a loop, and slip stitch it. So this way we attach our handle, and just to make sure they're in the right spot, both symmetrically placed. So you skip all of those stitches, and then you will continue making single crochets. So into those 2 sides, single crochet, and then we will chain for our second handle. So I'm just gonna make those single crochets off the camera and I'll show you again. So I'm now at the point where I need to start chaining again. It's the first single crochet in this corner, and you want to chain exactly the same amount as you did for the first one, which is 60 for me. So I'm gonna chain 60 and I'll see you when I'm done. So I have now done, I've got my 60 chains here, and once again I'm gonna find my second stitch of this corner and I will do a slip stitch just to join my chain here. And all you left to do is to do single crochets along the side. So just continue doing your single crochets, and that's gonna be it for second round. And then into your first single crochet of the round, you want to insert your hook, pull up a loop and slip stitch it. So that's 2 rounds around the back done, and from now on you want to make another 3 rounds doing single crochets. So you will be going along the sides there, and from now on into the chain, as we won't be working into those stitches. Of course, you can also make more rows if you want your handles to be thicker, but I'm gonna do 3. And to start off, start with the single crochet as always, and just keep making them all around until you come back to the first single crochet here. And when you reach the point where your chain starts, just simply go into the stitches of your chain. It can be tricky at the beginning of your initial chain, but once you've got that one done, it's gonna be easier. But yeah, just keep placing single crochets into the chain and then do all around. Repeat the same on the other side, and I'll meet you here to join the round. And when you reach your first single crochet again, just put your hook in, make a slip stitch to begin next round. This is how it's looking after the third round, or basically 1 row of single crochets going into the chain. And you want to do that 2 more times, so make another 2 rows around, and I'll show you what to do next. And when you do finish those 3 rows of single crochets, you want to slip stitch with your first single crochet. I will be cutting my yarn off now. And just to secure that, after you did the slip stitch, you just want to chain 1 and pull your yarn through. Then you will need to hide this tail in. And this is how your handles will be looking like. What I usually like to do is I would be inserting my yarn into this corner, and I will be doing 3 rows in this inside part as well. So you would do single crochets along here, then into the initial chain, and you would repeat that 3 times. It just makes the handle a bit thicker and more sturdy as well, so I would recommend doing that, and you would need to repeat that for both sides. If you are interested in having a look how that looks, I believe that makes the bag a bit more completed and the handles become a bit more thicker as well. So you can join your yarn here and do 3 rows in this inside part. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please hit subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you in my next one.